All right, welcome back. Today, I wanted to start out with going through my morning routine. And this is because I've had such a good morning routine for the past um, week, I think, and so somewhat for the past month. But really, this past week, I've been following it a lot. And I think um, there is some benefit in explaining it, not because you need to follow this exact routine. I know that I have a very specific circumstance that allows me to do this specific routine, but maybe there's something you can take from it that you can apply to your own life. And so the first thing that happens is I will wake up around 7 a.m. And what I do is I set my alarm on my watch, which is a lot of people are asking me about this, and it's like just a Garmin Phoenix, some version of it. I think it's the 6X Pro something. Um, and I will set my alarm on that. And the reason for that is so that I don't have to have my phone in my bedroom. So a large part of this routine is just not checking my phone in the morning, which I've noticed just helps me feel a lot better. Like it makes me feel, it's hard to explain the difference that it makes in how I feel. And so I will wake up 7 a.m., then I will go out for a walk. And this will be a 30-minute walk every single morning. And the way that I figured out that it's 30 minutes is that I set an alarm on my phone or watch and for 15 minutes. And then I just walk 15 minutes out. And then once that alarm goes off, I turn on my heel and I walk back wherever I am. I just walk back. And I always think or I'm always curious about like, what do people think when they see me uh, walking with purpose a certain direction and then all of a sudden just turning and walking back in the middle of like nowhere. There's no reason. There's no obvious there's no natural reason you would turn around where I turn around. So it's always a bit weird. I always walk past this like bus stop too. So it's like there's people waiting for the bus to go to work. So I walk past them and then like 20, 30, 40 meters later, I just turn around and walk back and I walk past them again. And sometimes I make eye contact with some people and I feel like they must be a little bit confused because it doesn't look like I don't think it looks like I walk and then I all of a sudden remember, oh fuck, I forgot something, and I turn back and go to get that thing. I think it looks pretty much like I just walk and okay, I'm done, walk back, turn around. Like it doesn't really, I don't think it makes too much sense to people. So that's something I always have in the back of my head. Like I'm a little bit curious what people might think of that. Or what kind of scenarios people make up in their head about what I am doing. But that's what I do. It's a really good way if you want to lose weight or lose weight, get into shape of some kind, then going out for a 30-minute walk or even like 15 minutes, just go out for a little short walk in the morning. I think that will make a huge difference to the rate at which you will be getting into shape. I don't really know why, because it feels like 30 minutes of walking in not a fast pace at all, just a pretty relaxed pace. I feel like that shouldn't make it too much of a difference, but I always notice without fail that when I stick to that routine consistently, I will be losing fat without even trying, if that makes sense. So highly recommend that if you want to lose weight. The second thing I will do when I get home, I will just start making my breakfast, which is always the same every single day. And it's 4 hard boiled eggs for like 7-8 minutes. And then I will have 1.5 deciliters of oats with some cinnamon on it. Sometimes I will have like sourdough bread or something if I feel like it, or if I'm going to go for like a long run, swim, something like that in the afternoon. I might have something like that in the morning. And then while I eat that, I will usually watch 1 or 2 episodes of The Office, just to just because I really enjoy that routine. And it's kind of a nice treat in the morning as well. It's like, I don't know. It's a really, I really like that routine. And then after that, I will go brush my teeth and get ready to work. And I will come in here, and about 9 a.m., I will start working. But this is also before I start working, I will check my phone for the first time in the morning. And the reason for this is just to check if like someone's tried to reach me, or if there's something that I need to reply to of some kind. And so I will reply to all of that stuff before getting to work. And I feel like this routine works really well. Like all of it is designed to make sure that I don't look at my phone first thing in the morning, and not even first thing in the morning, but like first few hours of my morning. And it makes a ginormous difference to my mood, my productivity, the way that I feel, how much time I feel like I have. And I just feel a lot better. And the thing is, too, even though I do look at the phone before working, it's something about like having that morning routine without the phone, and then coming here, sitting down, prepping everything to start working, and then looking at my phone, that just makes it way easier to not get stuck procrastinating on the phone. Like I will usually just do a few things, and then naturally I'll feel like, okay, I'm done, let's start working, which is a really good thing. And then I will work until about 12 p.m. And 12 p.m. I will stop working. And working usually means just filming these videos. And after I stop filming, I will edit all of this for about an hour ish till about 1 p.m. And then I'll have some lunch. And the afternoon is pretty unstructured. So there's no real routine to that. But that is my morning routine. And I highly recommend um, emulating it in whatever way you can. So I know some people have like work to go to way earlier than I have to, and don't have the ability or the freedom to do some of the things that I do. But if you could, like, I don't know, get up 15 minutes earlier and walk to the next bus stop or something in the morning, like that is a really good thing, I think. And if you can get yourself like a little alarm clock, I think you can get one for like nothing, on Amazon or something, and just make it so that you don't look at your phone the first thing that you do in the morning. I think that if you can implement that in some way, I think it makes a huge difference, because it's very easy to just not look at your phone if there's no real reason to look at it, if that makes sense. Like having the phone in my office here, I do get the urge to like go in and check it, but there's nothing that inherently like makes me check it. Like if I had my wake up alarm on my phone, then that just forces me to use the phone, because I have to, even if it's just to turn off the alarm, that's still like using the phone. I feel like that tends to drive me towards then like using the phone. Like it's like, it's almost like when you are on a diet or something and you're trying not to eat, you're like telling yourself, I'm not going to have any sugar for the next like week, month, however long. And then you have like one little piece of sugar or candy of some kind. It's so easy after that to be like, okay, well, today's already ruined, so why not just have more? I might as well just enjoy this day because it's already ruined. So then you just like eat way more candy. Whereas if you would have just been like, okay, I just had one piece of candy, not a big deal, I still don't have to break the diet thing, then you would actually make more progress and you'd probably live a healthier life. Um, I feel like a lot of people, or me at least, I end up in that place a lot where it's like, well, today's already ruined. Might as well start tomorrow, or restart tomorrow. So checking the phone in the morning leads me into doing that a lot. So yeah. Anyway, that is my morning routine. I hope it was useful in some way for me to share it. But now let's have a look at what we're going to do today. Okay, yeah, I do remember what we should do because last time we didn't get the app to run from Claude. So let's see if we can fix that. I got a lot of comments saying that I should Google that stuff and not ask Claude about it. So let's Google it. Um, All right, I don't seem to be able to figure out how to get this to work, or it doesn't seem like there's any obvious answer to it, because I'm guessing an obvious answer would show up if I Googled this stuff. And ChatGPT is not able to really figure it out. But essentially, I'm just trying to get it to be able to run the app every time that I want it to, which right now it just doesn't seem like it is capable of doing that, which sucks. Okay, git status, nothing to commit. But let's start working on some of this stuff. Okay, so I don't really know why that happens. That is a bug that sometimes happens, which is one of them will get connected back into a phone call when the other one doesn't get connected into that phone call. So let's see if we ask Claude about this. All right, I'm not really sure what's happening, but for some reason they just get connected into a phone call without, like, one of them gets connected into a phone call, but the other one doesn't get connected, and it just doesn't really make sense. Because I also noticed that the wait list, nothing happens with the wait list. Like, they never get end up in here, which is also a bit weird. Like, this user ends up in the phone call, but this one never ends up in it. I don't know how that has started happening. All right, I think that this works now. We're gonna just match these users, just make sure they match. And then we're gonna leave the call. The only thing is that the minutes don't get calculated properly. Okay, so this is not a bug. So the minutes for some reason remain at 26, which I don't know why they do, but they do. But we're gonna have to take care of that some other day because now time is up for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I was just basically just trying to figure this out for a long time. It took a while, but I think I've learned a little bit more how to be more specific with, or how to like be more thorough when it comes to asking Claude for help. So this way it was very like methodical in its approach, and it was just like giving me one query after the next, and then I would just execute those queries in the database, and it would basically figure out, okay, this is what is going on, and then it would give me the right solution, if that makes sense. Whereas if I don't specify to it that just give me one instruction, wait for me to complete it, and then give me one more instruction, if I don't specify that, then it tends to just give me this long list of things to do, where it might actually be that if there's like 10 steps to this process, it might be that step 1 will impact step 2 and change it completely. So depending on whatever happens on step 1, which means that when it gives me this long explanation of what to do, which I've sometimes just like gone through all those steps and just executed them without asking anything else, it just means that you end up in a situation where the end result is not, it just doesn't work because the first thing that you did basically impacted the rest and changed the rest. So the ideal way to use these things is to have just them send you one thing, and then you send the output of whatever they wanted you to do, and then they send you another thing and you do that and just keep going, because that way it can kind of figure out what is happening. And usually they're pretty good when you do that. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope I'll see you in the next one, which will be on Friday.